The cabin was postcard perfect. Nestled deep in the forest, its moss-covered roof and rustic wooden exterior exuded charm. Megan had found it online, touting it as an escape from the world. She'd convinced her friends, Alex, Jamie, and Tara, to join her for a weekend retreat. They wanted tranquility. Instead, they got something much darker. The first evening was serene. A warm fire crackled in the stone hearth, and the group toasted marshmallows while trading stories. But as the night deepened, the forest outside seemed to close in. Shadows stretched unnaturally long, and the wind carried whispers that brushed against the edges of hearing. It began with a sound. "Did you hear that?" Alex whispered, head snapping toward the window. The others paused. It was faint, a rhythmic tapping, like fingers drumming on wood. "Probably a branch," Megan said, though her voice wavered. Jamie peered through the frosted glass, flashlight in hand. The beam cut through the darkness, revealing nothing but gnarled trees swaying in the breeze. "Nothing there," Jamie said, but their uneasy expression said otherwise. The tapping grew louder as the hours ticked by, moving from one side of the cabin to the other. Then at 2:13 a.m., it stopped altogether. The silence was worse. Morning brought a false sense of relief. They dismissed the tapping as wildlife and decided to explore. But as they wandered through the woods, they stumbled upon something that froze them in their tracks. A ring of weathered stones, encircling a patch of earth that seemed unnaturally dark and damp. At its center was a crude wooden totem, carved with jagged symbols none of them recognized. "What the hell is this?" Tara asked, stepping closer. "Don't touch it," Megan blurted, her stomach twisting in knots. But Tara was already crouched, brushing leaves from the base of the totem. Beneath it, she found a rusted tin box. Inside were fragments of bone, a lock of matted hair, and a photograph, faded and water-damaged. The photo showed a family standing in front of the cabin, their faces obscured by scratches. They returned to the cabin in uneasy silence. By dusk, the atmosphere had shifted. The air inside felt heavy, oppressive. Shadows danced on the walls, even when no one moved. Then the whispers began again, louder this time, clearer. "Get out," they seemed to say. Tara screamed as the front door slammed shut on its own. The windows rattled, the fire snuffed itself out, and the temperature plummeted. The group huddled in the center of the room, clutching flashlights. "We need to leave," Alex said, voice trembling. "The car won't start," Megan whispered. Jamie bolted for the door, but it wouldn't budge. It was as if the cabin itself refused to let them go. And then they saw it. A figure stood in the doorway to the bedroom, a shadow darker than the pitch black around them. Its head tilted unnaturally, and its limbs twitched like a broken marionette. "Why did you come here?" it hissed, voice like gravel scraping against metal. No one answered. They couldn't. The figure took a step forward, its footfalls echoing like gunshots. It reached out a hand, long fingers ending in jagged claw-like nails, and pointed at Megan. "You brought them here," it said. Megan fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. "I didn't know," she cried. "I didn't know." "You should have stayed away," the figure growled. The cabin began to shake, its walls creaking and groaning as if alive. The floor split open, revealing a gaping void beneath, filled with writhing shadows. One by one they were pulled in, Tara, Alex, Jamie, all swallowed by the dark. Megan was the last. As she was dragged toward the pit, the figure knelt beside her, its face inches from hers. "You'll never leave," it whispered. The cabin stood silent the next morning, its door ajar as sunlight filtered through the trees. The forest was still, but if you listened closely, you could hear the faintest sound, laughter, screams, and whispers carried on the wind. The cabin had new secrets now, waiting for its next guests.